Hey guys, it's Amy here, and today I bring you my August wrap-up. So at the beginning of the month I took part in Booktubeathon and I read a number of books in that week, and I did a wrap-up for that week as well. So instead of repeating myself and just saying exactly what I said in that video, I will leave a link down below. The books that I read in that week were Low Delirium of Hope, The Shell Collector by Hugh Howey, Troll Hunters by Guillermo del Toro and Daniel Kraus, Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops by Jen Campbell, Wait, The Myth of Atlas and Heracles by Jeanette Winterson, and finally Girl Meets Boy by Ali Smith. So if you have any interest in hearing my opinions on those books, I will leave the link to that video down below. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, you'll know that I've had a pretty exhausting and stressful month this month, so I haven't done a great deal of reading since Booktubeathon. Pretty much as soon as Booktubeathon finished, I went to a festival which was a week long, so I didn't get any reading done then. As soon as I got back from the festival I was really unwell, and it was the unwell where you can't even pick up a book to read, so it was really rubbish, and that was about a week as well. And then my boyfriend left to join the RAF, so it was all very emotional and horrible, and basically I just didn't feel like reading. But saying that, and actually moving on to the point of this video, I have read a small number of books, so let's talk about those today. First book I want to talk about is Dream Angus by Alexander McCall Smith. This is another book from the Myth series published by Canongate Books. In that series, modern day authors take old mythology and legends and folklore and things like that and make their own story out of it. So this book was okay. I didn't think it was amazing. I think possibly I would have enjoyed it more if I had come from an Irish or Scottish background, because that's primarily where the stories were based. This basically follows the story of Angus, a god who primarily helps people dream and fall in love and things like that. And the actual premise of the story I did really enjoy. The actual coming forth of Angus as a child and him being born by gods and things like that. I actually really enjoyed that element of the story. The story is split up between Angus growing up and becoming a god and doing his thing, and then modern day kind of stories of people and how Angus has affected their lives. He pops up throughout these modern day stories to kind of help push people into doing the right kind of thing. It was an interesting read. It didn't take me very long to read. It was about 150 pages long, but I don't think I would read it again, and I'm not sure I would really recommend it to anyone. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read this month was actually sent to me by the publishers, and it was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, and I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. This book follows the story of a girl named Maddie who is highly allergic to many things. This means that basically she can't go outside, because if she does, anything could trigger her to have a massive allergic reaction, and because her body is so low in immunity, she just can't fight it off, and basically she would die. Because of this, she has spent most of her life inside a house living with her mum and a nurse that cares for her as well. The house has airlocked doors, kind of like submarines, so you can't just walk straight in from outdoors. Anyone who goes into the house has to be thoroughly checked for their medical history and make sure that they're not poorly at the time. They need to be cleaned. Anything that goes in, like books and things like that, have to be decontaminated, have to be completely new and untouched by anyone else. And because of this, obviously, Maddie doesn't really have many friends. She is online tutored, and tutors do come and visit her. Her mum and her nurse are her primary friends, really, until one day a new set of neighbours move into the house next door, and Maddie takes a liking to the young boy in that family. You can see kind of where the story's going to go. They start speaking, they become friends. I'm going to leave it there because it is a fantastic story, and I would really highly recommend it to everybody. The actual format of the book is one of the things that I enjoy the most, actually. All throughout the story they have these little diagrams and email conversations with her and the boy next door. There's letters, text messages, all different things, and it just made the reading experience really enjoyable for me. I just thought it was a brilliant read and completely original. I've never read anything like this before, so I'm hoping that Nicola Yoon writes something else very soon, because I'd be really interested in reading her work because I really enjoyed the writing. The next book I read this month was Lost in Translation by Ella Frances Sanders. This is an illustrated compendium of untranslatable words from around the world. So this book is essentially what it says on the cover, a selection of beautifully illustrated words from around the world in various different languages, words that essentially cannot be translated into English or any other language, really. My favourite words was this one here, and I'm not going to be able to say it correctly, but it's Hungarian, and I think it's Zimbapticus, It says here, when meeting someone for the first time and your intuition tells you that they are a good person, you can refer to it as sympathicus. And it says over here, call it intuition, call it good vibes or a gut instinct. Sometimes you just know that the person you just met is wonderful, and it's usually best to let them know. I'm actually really good friends with the Hungarian lady that I work with, and I said that word to her and she really liked that I knew what it was. I'm actually going to lend this book to her because she's really interested in languages, so I would recommend this to anyone who is interested in different cultures, different languages, meanings of things. It's just a beautifully done book. And the final book I finished this month, literally on the last day of August. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see my little mission updates. It was The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. I'm taking part in the Mistborn trilogy read-along along with the various other booktubers. I'll link down below to Lucy's video explaining the whole read-along if you fancy joining in with us. So what is the Mistborn trilogy about? This basically follows the story of a young girl who discovers that she is Mistborn, and that essentially means that you have the power to use metals to affect different things in the world around you. The girl is called Vin, and at the beginning of the book she is completely unaware that she is Mistborn. She just knows that she has this kind of power that she can get people to do what she wants them to do. The world that Vin lives in is pretty much split down the middle. We have the noble people on one side and the people who are very wealthy and live a very luxurious lifestyle, and on the other side we have the Scar. The Scar people are the slaves, basically, the people who are downtrodden and oppressed by the noble people and the Lord Ruler. So in the eyes of everyone of the kingdom, the Lord Ruler is God. He has an enormous amount of power and they can't do anything about it because he's indestructible, so they just have to get on with it and live their lives, basically. This book is just one massive exciting adventure. Vin joins in with this group of thieves and they all have various different powers. So the metals that I mentioned before give Vin and this group of thieves various different powers. One metal will make their eyesight and their hearing and their senses really heighten. Other metals allow them to play with people's emotions and change the way they feel. And there's loads of different metals that allow them to do various different things. But you actually have to be born of a line of people that can do these powers. You can't just ingest metal and expect something to happen. You actually have to have that innate kind of thing within you already. Essentially this book boils down to the fact that Vin and her group of friends are planning on overthrowing the Lord Ruler, who is God, who is indestructible. So that is essentially what this book is about. It's full of adventure, full of excitement, full of twists and turns, and just, it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. So much that happens in this book. I don't think I've fully captured how good it is, and I think I've given a really crap description. So I'll leave a link down below to the summary of this book so you can actually read what it's about and actually understand it, because I don't think I made sense. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I will be reading The Well of Ascension next. Those are all the books that I read in the rest of August. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know down below what you read in August, or if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. As always, I will leave links to Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, everything I mentioned today down below. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you soon. Bye! In my video where I recommended mental health related books, a lot of you recommend that I pick up this one, so I did because I trust your recommendations.